Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Whispers podcast. As always, I'm joined by Maddie. How are you, Maddie?
Going well, Worm. Mate, just 10 more sleeps.
Until the Big Bash is over?
Until the Big Bash is over. No. until we get to see a Boxing Day at Caulfield. I'm sure it's at Caulfield.
No, Sandown.
Okay. We'll get to that. That's all right. No, mate, good to see we're back at headquarters.
Yeah. Since the Renault, so should be good, nice racing surface. Hopefully the wind is down and be playing like normal Flemington.
Yes, no, looking forward to it. And rail in the true.
Rail true. So,
wow.
Yeah, should be
Is there
good.
any better racing?
No, it's some people call it the goat track or the graveyard because so many different results and numbers get up, but I reckon it's good. Every horse gets their chance. Not many horses get unlucky. Unlike Friday night, there'll be plenty. But it's good to be back. It's the best track in the world, I reckon.
Oh, don't worry about calling Flemington the graveyard. I call you the grave digger.
Yep. I've put another one in the hospital. Might be into retirement. Artika. Jeez, I've backed it twice now on the podcast or the subs, and it's both pulled up with issues. So that horse has got more issues than me at the moment. So that's it's good that someone's going worse than me. But yeah, it was last week was a total shit show, and you have those days, unfortunately.
Yes, you do. I mean, it doesn't help when the pineapple gets scratched.
Yeah, it didn't start well Saturday morning. Pineapple scratched. Matty took about 8 hours to respond to find his pineapple. So we're in trouble there. And we just didn't see him well, and results didn't go our way. I just thought it was a week of poor rides all around Australia.
Yeah, it was interesting, especially over in Ascot as well. A few got a little too far back, and they were running on, but just left it a lot too late. Look, it was nice that we did find a few for the subs on the WhatsApp group, so it was nice that a few did get on board. I think we had Capital Flight and Hardly Ever, but then that led into the pineapple race, which we'll mention now. So we had the scratching for Try For Us, which I was really quite keen to see. But yeah, unfortunate. And the second horse we had in that race, Above the Peg, finished fifth. And inside just really didn't finish off the race exceptionally well. And Elsafina with Willie Pike on board found a split and got home quite well.
Yeah, you saved the community with those few winners. I've had an absolute strip out. I either backed horses that were going to die, or I just got poor rides, and I don't know. And then I ended up. I had something on Alaskan God in the big one.
Yep.
And I don't know what the jockey was thinking. I'm still a bit dumbfounded on what he was doing. Oh, geez, it hurt, especially after a skinful at the races. And you get something like that. But then even, I think the astrologist saved me for myself. I had to go again after the 7th time this prep. It was a good win. He showed what I thought was there, but I don't know if 1400s he's go, though. He just got there.
Absolutely. And fair enough too. You'd been on the astrologist quite a few times, so fair enough that you stayed true. Good to see Willie Pike riding a few winners. He looked like he was slowly getting back to his best last week, the week before, and then last week just went whooshka.
I never doubted him. I thought he was always a true champion. And that's the thing. You've just got to find these jockeys when they're having that slump, and he was having it in Sydney, and he was going to bring it to Perth. It's when it turns. And I just had to go again at a price. I just had to wipe my mind of the jockey and just go, at the price, this is a bet for me. because it was 7th in this prep and he's done my money 7 times. I had to go again, or I would have been gone for all money. I wouldn't have been on this show, that's for sure. But yeah, it's interesting how well he went. He now freshens up for the new market, which be interesting. See how he goes. He probably gets top weight now.
No, absolutely. And yeah, Shaquille O'Neal would be very happy that Willie in the last is the thing again for, was it PointsBet? I think he's advertising.
Don't get me started on these advertisings. They dead set grind my gears. I'll say it. I get why he's on. I get why they've done it with him, but it doesn't entice punters to go, oh, Shaq's on the ad. I've got to go bet with PointsBet. Like, I think punters are a lot smarter now and not that dumb. Yeah, you could probably throw $1 million at Daisy Thomas doing ads for PointsBet and be probably more funnier and more, more people to bet with them. But that's just me.
Oh, sorry, mate. I do know which buttons to push, and that's certainly one for you.
I just hate the gambling ads. I do. I just think there can be done better ways. But that's another topic. But it brings us into the talking points this week. We'll kick things off. I'll start off with a small one. We don't have to talk about much. I see the All-Star Miles crept into the news. Give me a spell. I don't know why we need to know about nominations and who's nominated at this far when we can't even vote until February. So good on Racing Victoria to getting it into the news and getting it into people's heads. Yep, I understand why you do it, but give me a spell. I'll be muting every All-Star Mile comment on my feed so I don't have to see it until Feb. So we'll move on quickly. Darren Weir case. Wow,
yeah, keep me updated with this. I haven't kept on board. So where are we up to?
He's been to court. He was fined $36,000 for animal cruelty. If I'm wrong, please don't at me. The interesting part out of it is that when he was in court, the judge or prosecutors brought up a video of him jiggering the horses personally and Jared McLean whacking the horse with a pipe, pretending it's a whip. And Racing Victoria hadn't seen that footage or knew of any of that footage. So that's come alight. So now they're going to have to do an investigation on him. With that being said, I find it very hard to see him getting his license back straight away.
So he was due to come back in Feb?
Yeah, he would reapply in Feb if all going well.
Okay.
But
yeah, that seems unlikely if that's the case.
Oh, 100%. I'd be shocked if he can get it. But Racing Victoria got to do their due diligence on him and everything and take everything into keep everything above board because I saw it out on Twitter. I took the bait with someone and I just said, like, some people were supportive with me saying that second chances we forgive and not forget, but we forgive and deserves a second chance. And a lot of people jumped on and went to town on me for doing it. And they brought up the case of, well, what about the greenies and the activists that hate horse racing and want it gone? They will use his video in their promos and on their boards and all that sort of stuff. Didn't take it into content, and yeah, they make a valid case. And yeah, I think we not bow down to them, but we just got to be careful because we might push a lot of people away then gain if we just let him straight back in.
It will be interesting to see how Racing Victoria handle this one. It's a bit of a touchy one.
It is. It's they've got to get it right. They've got to they've just got to get it right because if they don't, oh my. There's a lot of trainers out there. There's a lot of owners out there. There's a lot of jockeys out there that do support Darren Weir coming back. And then there is a few that don't. So it'd be interesting to see how this pans out. I'm interested, definitely, but I'm a betting man and I'd be betting on that he has not a longer stint, but a bit more of a holiday on the sidelines. We'll move to Sydney last week. I don't know if you've seen this, Matty. I was at Sandown Saturday, and I don't bet much into Sydney, and I think Saturday showed me why. For a good four track, and it was one of their big races, the Ingham / the Villiers, free ticket into the Doncaster. So $2 million, I think, prize money race. And there was a good four track, beautiful. And then I see there was sand kickback. Now, why is there sand kickback? I'm not blaming the track manager at all. He's got to try and produce the best track possible and for the future going on and on. Now, with all these pop-up races and, going deep into spring, going into summer, he's got to do what he's got to do to keep it 100% perfect. But Saturday's racing was horrible and not up to standard because of that kickback. Not every horse had their chance. You could see the lead pack most advantage, or horses 3 wide, no cover, or out wide, not getting any of the kickback. But when it hits the horses' heads, they don't want to go. They want to give up. They want to stop. And that's all I kept seeing on Saturday. And I just thought it was a shit look for Sydney racing.
And I guess the track's been inundated with rain, so it'll be interesting to see how the underlayer is going, considering they've been racing on heavy 10s for such a long time. I would imagine that's why they needed a bit of a cushion. So, yeah, look, as you mentioned, their priority is definitely going to be racing in the autumn, and I would suspect they're trying to protect the. What am I trying to say? Protect the track.
Protect. Yeah.
That one. There's a T in there.
Yeah.
So that's where my head is. That they are very much looking forward and looking towards the autumn.
Yeah, they've just got to give the tracks a bit of a rest. If they're going to go out to the Kemblers and the Hawkesbury's and all that sort of stuff after the Golden Eagle, maybe give it a bit more so then they can do what they need to do. But they did this, I reckon, 18 months ago at Randwick on one of their big days, and it was just an absolute shit show. I didn't get to see much social media leading up to the races to say, did they come out and say, hey, there's going to be kickback? Probably not. They didn't want the punters probably to know, but I just think it was a shit look. So many people invest money prior to Saturday that don't get to bet on the run and change their thoughts. So, yeah, there's a lot to it, and I just thought it was just a shit look for Sydney racing on Saturday.
Oh, one to keep an eye on as we head forward across the summer.
World Cup thoughts, Matty. I don't think anyone wants my thoughts because I thought Ronaldo was still playing for Brazil. Your thoughts on the final coming up?
Looked good to see probably two of the best performing teams in the final come. What are we, Monday morning, 2 a.m. So I'm quite happy. One of my promotional bets is on Argentina, so good to see that I've got a stake in the race. But yeah, look, to be honest, France are going to be exceptionally hard to beat. They look like a very complete team. So going to be very interesting. I think a lot of people will be cheering for Mr. Messi across his final World Cup. So yeah, should be a good game.
Yeah, it should be. I've the little knowledge I know. I'd love it for the minority, the news. It'd be great for Messi to win. Mate, he's a freak what he can do. Because he's such small stature. He just knows when to walk. He knows when to sprint. He knows when to push the button. And it's good. He's great to watch. Do you reckon Qatar are going to try and set it up for Messi to win?
No, please. They wouldn't take any type of bribe. No, not at all.
Not even the ref?
Not even the ref. No, come on, mate. Don't be so negative.
Have to put it out there. It was an
But
office discussion today.
If they do, no complaints here.
You're sitting nicely. Are you going to have a save in France?
No.
Oh my!
No, we let those ride. We let those ride. They are promotional bets.
Not even going to have it in the last leg of a multi-France, just in case.
No, not at all. No.
Not even going to take betters if they offer you a cash out?
They haven't sent me a cash out, so no, I won't be.
Okay. I've got to ask every point of questions because everyone's different. Some people will jump on one of the bet fairs and lay them off, or they'll,
No,
have
it's all right. I'm not the only one within the community who have jumped onto Argentina, and they've all come out of the woodworks across the last week.
Yeah, I don't want to go too far into it because we could be putting them into a naughty corner. Yeah, so good fight. 2 a.m. Is that it? Right?
2 a.m. I'll be getting up nice and early to watch a replay.
When's it on? That's how much I know.
No, 2 a.m. 2 a.m.
What day?
Monday morning, so Sunday night / Monday morning.
You can count me out. I'll be in bed. No, you can jam that up where the sun doesn't shine. But no, good luck to two teams. Good to see Australia lost to both of them. So good luck to both.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Track stats, as we mentioned earlier, Rail True. Every horse gets their chance. I think lanes 4 to 7 will be the place to be. It's normally a good spot at Flemington Rail True. Horses leading circle races will find it hard to hold on as it's a very, very long straight. If you are punting on the go, watch for the wind. Wind plays a huge factor at Flemington. They're only predicting 18 kilometres, so it shouldn't play too much, but it could just be that little bit. Trial trackers, I won't go into it because Maddie's going to preview one of the races. So we're previewing races 2 and 5, bets around the grounds, the multi, and the all-important pineapple of the week, which hands over to moi. Yeah, stay tuned. I think I've got one. So, Maddie, race 2, you want to preview?
Yeah, we got benchmark 70 over 1,100 metres. Mate, look, I wanted to preview this for two reasons. I've mentioned before that David Butch Bourne, doesn't bring them to the city unless he thinks they're a winning chance. So that was one reason that attracted me to this race. The other is the Peter Mooney horse Cotel. 2 starts, 2 wins. Keen to see how that goes as well. So, mate, have you got the odds there before I do jump into them?
I do, mate. The number 70 Cotel favourite at $2.60. 4 All About Eve is $8. Number 11 Star Lee, $9. Number 2 No Way Ever, $9. Number 5 Real Life, For Real Life, $8.50. Number 1 Ojarson, $10. Number 9 Dancing Lucy, $10. These are all mumbo jumboed. But 13 plus the rest.
Thank you, mate. Look, I'll just be going through 3 of them here. And the 3 that I wanted to look at, Ojoson, Butch Bourne. Now, this one from barrier number 11 out wide down the straight doesn't matter. I don't mind them being grandstand side. So it'll be interesting to see where they do go. Generally speaking, the earlier races, they tend to go towards the inside barrier rather than the grandstand side. So interesting to see how we go. Look, I went back and had a look at a race that it raced against No Way Ever, which is number 2, at Caulfield mid-year. And it won that race where it got the split and No Way Ever was sitting 3 wide. So those 2 I do find to be quite even within this race. But as I mentioned, Butch Bourne doesn't bring them to the city unless he believes they've got a winning chance. And at $10, it does need to come into consideration. The one I had next was All About Eve. Now, All About Eve from barrier number 7, it's going to get back and go watch its last start at Ballarat. It was really impressive. And this horse looks to have some really decent talent. And it's probably one of the only horses within the race that I can see running better than benchmark here. So All About Eve definitely needs to come into consideration. Worm, as I mentioned up front though, Cotel, it's the one that I see as the most progressive horse within this field. I'm really interested to see how it goes here. Now, from barrier number 8, it should just be sitting with some cover, and I expect it to be exceptionally hard to beat. So, Worm, for me, I do have Cotel on top, and it will be my bet within the race. I'll be tossing up whether I do have anything on All About Eve or Ojosen. But they're the three that I will be focusing my attention on. The main play will be on Coatel, though.
Yeah. Jason, I think if you can, you've got to forgive second up. It's first up, third to direct, and then it's third up, second to Muntimus. Can't even pronounce it, but the benchmark 64 last start.
Yep.
Hannah Edgley just put it in a bad spot and just couldn't get out, hit the line well, which you expect them to do over the 955 and being held up that long. Straight racing, going to be out wide, no bad luck whatsoever. You've got to have something on, I reckon, at that price, especially each way. Yeah, if it runs well second up, I think, I think you won't be getting that price. So can see why you want to put it in your numbers. Coattail was very nice at Cranbourne, but I'm just worried it just Cranbourne found the rail, ticked every box, did what it had to do. Colleen Heffel on scares me.
Yes, I did notice we had a Mitsubishi on board.
She can ride. She can ride if she finds the front, but she hasn't been finding the front of late, which scares me even more.
Yeah, look, I'm hoping she finds it back here and only has to peel off one, and she shouldn't be finding too much traffic. Again, does concern me slightly, but I've got Coattail as being the most progressive horse within this race and only one of two potentially running better than benchmark, and I've got Ojosen running to benchmark.
Yep. I just don't know why Nolan wouldn't be on at 59 kilos. Claiming two. But the one I landed on here in my trial tracker this week's race 2, obviously, number 9, Dazzling Lucy. It's had 2 jump outs, and I thought the most recent one at Terrelgan was really good. Not worried about the time there because it always is a touch slow at Terrelgan as the grass is a lot longer at Terrelgan for some reason. But its action and through the line, I really liked it. At $12, it's a good price that I want to get involved in, especially at the each way. This horse flies fresh. And I think this might be just a little bit of a setup here for this horse. And I think they will have this horse humming. It just smells of it. It's definitely flown under the radar if it's not in your numbers, Matty. So that I don't mind that at all. So, yeah, I just think that the price, it's a good one to get involved in. And Jason, definitely.
Very nice.
WhatsApp, guys, if you want to get involved at WhatsApp, please contact either Matty or myself through our Twitter, Instagrams, however you want to contact us. We'll put you straight through. We've had a few people join this week and they aren't regretting it whatsoever, especially after Saturday, Sunday strip out. I had one guy reach out at me and he hasn't reached out. So if you want to get involved, you can either email me at Sam Kennedy, SamKennedy 14 at gmail.com. That's Sam Kennedy 14 at gmail.com, and I will put you straight through. Someone reached out on me on YouTube, but hasn't found a way. So I don't think he's seen it. So he's probably going to watch again.
Throughout the week, was it yesterday? You had Shuffle. Was it that you tipped at $13?
Yeah, tipped Shuffle at 13s and got smashed into 7s. I thought 13s was overs, but when it got into 7s, I'm like, what have I? Oh, I thought it was then unders. But
Shuffle dancer, that's it.
But we took on the favourite. I didn't like the favourite at $1.95, the old Rackerman. It was just coming off a big race on a good 3 at the Valley.
Good to see a few multis being sent through at the moment as well.
Yeah, there was some fat ones on Wednesday, that's for sure.
And the boys had a bit of fun last night at Happy Valley.
Honkers. There was a couple of winners out of a few of them. I woke up to a collect. So I was, thought it was quite good waking up with a bit of money in there.
No, good time of year, and especially when you've got a bit of time off work, I can see it getting exceptionally busy. Yeah,
100%. So get in contact with one of us. We'll put you through. yeah, we've had a few people join this week, which we are very thankful for joining, and they have definitely been rewarded for joining. So get in contact if you want to join, because especially over Christmas, Maddie might be not on a few shows over Christmas, New Year. I might not be on, so you can definitely get our thoughts during the year or during those times over Christmas. So yeah, podcast still runs, but might be less one each week, just depending on how we are going with our commitments. I'm going to preview race 5 here. It is, I'll get my notes up. Race 5, Furphy Sprint, 1,200 meters. Now, odds. I'll click over. Invincible Caviar is $3.60. Favorite. Moonamek is $4. 7, My Yankee Girl, $7.50. 3, Snapper, $9. Number 10, Monarch of Egypt, down from Hong Kong, is $11. Space Boy, $12, and you can have $15 the rest. Just got to bring up my speed map here, because this is why it's very important. This is a very interesting speed map here. I've got a lot of pace up front here with Space Boy, Dance to Dubai, Invincible Caviar, Snapper, and even maybe Zach the Boss, all pushing for the front here. And they might not come up for any air. So it could be a really quick 1,200 meters here. In saying that, I'm happy to be with here number 5, William Thomas, at around the 18s and $4.80. He'll be out the back, and he'll be giving him a head start, and he'll be having one last crack at him. He has formed down the straight against the astrologist last year, and that form around 18s and 480, it's a 1x3 bet play here. Last start, I don't know what Josh Richards was thinking. He said the horse was scared to go through the gap. I think it was totally wrong, and it was the jockey that was scared to go through the gap. Watch the head-on vision or even the side-on vision. It should have won. It was absolutely toxic. Yeah, I don't know how the stewards accepted that excuse. But he's not riding in Victoria again, so it's interesting. So, yeah, Space Boy. Not Space Boy, sorry. William Thomas, I think he's a 1x3 bet here. Zach the Boss here, forgive last start. Throat abnormality. SP 850 in a good field, and they're asking you to take 17s. And this horse loves the Flemington straight. Yes, it's 1,100, but this is 1,200. Track and distance Flemington, straight racing is a huge plus. But this horse is overs, especially going off its last prep victories down the straight over the 1,100 meters. Number 3, Snapper. He's had a nice jump out since. Win down the straight, $9. Looks value too. Number 12, Invincible Caviar. Nice win last start, but I find it hard to tie and packing and form into these big metro races now. Hope it goes well. One thing Jamie Carr needs to know about this horse, it will pull up really quickly. And this horse knows when the race is over. So Jay Carr will need to ride this horse right out. Go and watch last start, cross the line at Pakenham. Within 20 metres, this horse was almost up to a walk. And then 2 starts ago, they reckon pulled up lame. Jockey eased up on it. The horse gave up really, really quick and was beaten 20 lengths. So Jamie Carr is going to have to be switched on here, because she switches off, the horse will switch off even quicker. Number 6, Moonamek here. Interesting that this horse is formed the last 2 starts, has huge form lines, and it probably wins off those form lines. But why are they bringing it back to 1,200 meters? From 14 to 1,200. It's had 9 starts over 1,200 for 2/3. I know it was all in Hong Kong, and they race completely different tempos to us. I know this course could completely smash them too, but the stats scare me. Completely, a couple of runs on heavy tracks and soft 7s. Might have just had enough by now. Been up since August, so I can't be with Moonamek knowing these little issues or negatives that I've put it that I don't like. But I'm happy to be here. William Thomas, 1x3, 18s and 460. Probably going to get a bigger price come race time, so please wait. Matty.
Well, as you mentioned, Moonamek, I found it to be the interesting horse within the race. A little bit worried about being barrier number 1. By race number 5 down the straight, no idea what they're going to do. So we'll wait till race day and hopefully some of the earlier races give us a bit of an indication. But thoughts on De Oliver and how he's been going of late?
Yeah, he hasn't been the best, mate. He's certainly struggled a bit, but I did hear a little whisper that his manager's been off suspended. I could be wrong,
Okay.
but he's back. He's been back for a little bit now, not long. So getting the old band back together might just give him a bit more confidence to ride a bit better because whoever was doing his books weren't finding him the right horses.
Okay, so the rides he's had of late haven't been up to De Oliver's standards.
Yeah, he might have been doing it himself and he just kept finding the wrong ones.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know who was doing it, but with the old band back together, you might see Do just put some numbers on the board now.
Okay. Similar to what we discussed with Willie Pike over in Perth. One to keep an eye on how Mr. Oliver goes across the next few weeks.
Yeah, 100%. Around the grounds, Matty, where do you want to go?
Let's go to Melbourne race number 7, the listed Kensington Stakes. Now, this race, an interesting one. We've got Rose Quartz favourite at 250, Helvorsen 550, Estella Rocker at 460. They're kind of the horses within this race. Thoughts on Rose Quartz at 250 over 1,000 metres?
Yeah, when I look at the distance, 4 starts for 1 second only, and that was last start. Yes, it was against Jigsaw Tick, but oh, geez, it's not a 1,000-meter horse. I'm a big fan of 1,000-meter races, 1,000-meter horses. Stats tell you everything. Geez, it's a big ask. I'm not saying it can't win, but I don't want to be taking 250 to find out.
I was thinking exactly the same. And that's why I landed on Helvorsen at $556. Carrying 60 kilos. It carried 60 kilos last year. And between then, it's come second in a Goodwood, second in a William Reid. It won the Standish, which it's been set for again in January. And it came third in this race last year. I think it got beat by Maliva and Parasafal, which is running in this race, which interestingly enough is first up after its runs over in Dubai. So that horse is a little bit, I guess, hard to put your finger on. I don't like that it's first up. I would have liked to have seen it have a bit of a campaign before racing in this race, and then I could have made a stronger case for it. But Helvorsen at $6, I find to be a bet. So we'll be on Helvorsen.
Yeah, mate, 100% agree. Track and distance. Griffiths de Kock improving. Andrew Mallion coming down to ride. Obviously, the weight's going to be a bit of a it's not going to be an issue. I was going to lead to that, but it won't be. Parsifal is the interesting runner, how he's come back from Dubai. I haven't fully done the race, but yeah, I'm with you with Helvorsen, the quickest look I've ever done.
Yeah.
Parsifal,
I think, Parsifal, I think could have been a bet, but I just don't like the fact that it's first up. So I think that's one that we'll keep an eye on. But mate, for around the grounds, we'll move up to Sydney and we'll be going with race 5, Alpha One at around $3. Now, Alpha One was actually going to be in the same race as Helvorsen and Rose Quartz. Has been scratched and will be racing up in Sydney. It would have been in my numbers in Melbourne, and it will be in my numbers in Sydney. First up, last prep was just behind Giga Kick, and we all know how good that form was over the spring. So I will be with Alpha One first up in race 5 in Sydney. Then we'll head across to Ascot, and mate, we're going to be going for the lucky last in Ascot. And it was our pineapple from last week. Try for us. Now, it's not paying the $10 like it was when we had the pineapple and it was scratched. It's around about $556 at the moment, but I will be on board. The second one within that I may be having a saver on is Trade War. So those two over in Ascot, but Try for us will be my main bet in race number 9.
Beautiful. That Alpha One, that was interesting. Snowden normally like to give their horses 2 trials. He's only given this one. So whatever it does on Saturday, if it win, lose, or draw, don't drop off it. It'll win a race this prep, definitely. But hopefully it will be first up so we can get the chocolates and run away. I'm going to go to the Valley Friday night to kick things off around the grounds for myself. Race 1, number 2, Abstracted. It's on debut. It's had 2 jump outs in Sydney. I really like them. I know a lot of people might not have liked them. He looked tired late, but I don't think he was actually trying. Shit and Cummings combined. I think there's pace from barrier 4, so we can use that horse to go across and sit outside leader. Can't wait to see what's under the bonnet because it hasn't been pushed, as I said. But yeah, race 1, number 2, Abstracted. It's 290 out the 350. Maybe if you wait a little bit longer, you can probably get 380, but I think they will come for this late. Then we'll go to Flemington Race 1, number 12, River Noir. Didn't know it was a flip of a coin for the Pineapple. Unfortunately, this one isn't it, but really like its debut at Maui on a day leading and close to the rail wasn't the place to be, but River Noir was exactly in that. Great win. Jamie Carr goes on board, big tick. Good barrier to see what the other horses do. We're out wide. This is a nice field to find out where this horse is at, and I think it can handle itself quite well. That's race 1, number 12, River Noir. Maddie, what are you going to throw in?
Mate, we'll be going with Helvorsen for a place, and also try for us in the last in Ascot to bring us home.
Okay. I'm going to throw in race 1, River Noir, the place, and race 6, Persan, the place. So that's race 1, Flemington, River Noir, the place, race 6, Persan, the place, race 7, Helvorsen, the place, and Ascot, race 9, Try for Us, the place. It comes to $8. So we know what will happen. We were down to 2 legs on Saturday and we didn't get a single one. So good for us. We're on a roll. So come with us. We've got to land one before the end of the year. I'm not going a full year without a fucking collect with this multi. But no, I like this one. We've actually put our heads together here, and I think we're going to land a nice little $8 multi to end the Saturday. Pineapple of the week. Now, as I said, I had 2 of them. Flip of the coin, River Noir, or this one. So we're going to go Flemington, race 6, number 1, Persan. Yes, a lot of people are going to sit here and go, he's a milk drinker, he's a cat, he's a bridesmaid, whatever you want to throw. He's allergic to the finishing post. He doesn't know how to win. Yes, it's been 643 days between wins, but Bow and Declare did it 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, so it's Persan's turn. But why I like this horse, it's a 102 rater. Yes, it's got 60 kilos, but it's against 84 rated horses. Benchmark 84 horses, sorry. They have 54 kilos. Yes, we're giving them 6 kilo, but we are clearly class above. We beat Sound by 7 lengths last start. Noble Heights raced against Sound at Pakenham Cup and only beat it by 3. So there's a little bit of form lines that we can tie in there. Noble Heights is $4. We're $3.40. Why? I don't know. Persan led on a day at Caulfield that you could not lead and win on that rail due to the high winds. We only went down by 1 length. It was a huge run, I thought, at Caulfield. Nice little break. Mar and Eustace over 2,400 meters. They are deadly. This horse wins race 6, number 1, Persan, the milk drinker, the cat, the allergic to the winning post. He breaks his duck egg, and I will probably drive out there and clap him in when he salutes. Thoughts? Yes, happy.
Absolutely nothing. You used one of the words that I used when you told me that was going to be the pineapple. But you did make an exceptionally good point. The rating in this race, 20 points above anything else. Clearly a class above, and a couple of those form lines tying exceptionally well. Realistically, if it had a win this preparation, it would be starting at $2.
Yep. 100%. I'm gobsmacked at the price. I think they've put the price in because of the $600 odd days. They want you to find out. And at $3.40 and even $1.40 the place, $1.50 the place, I'm happy to find out. I think it starts with a 2 in front of it come race time.
There you go. Okay.
That's it for the show this week. Any last thoughts, Matty?
Mate, just one for tomorrow night, race 7. Our first ever pineapple is back, the Philosopher. So one to keep an eye on. It's been, fair to say, very well supported. I think we're in about 6 7s into 4s, and now favourite in that race. So one to keep an eye on in the 955 metre sprint. Could be going straight to the lead and very hard to catch. So keep an eye on that.
Yeah, he's early money for it, and that camp deadly first up. And when there's money on, look out. So Yukovovic or Yukovovic, I can't even say it. It's been a long year. But yeah, that trainer, that's a little tip. First up, if there's money for him, just keep him on your saver side if you haven't got it, because they are quite deadly. And yeah, good luck to the horse. I think he's still got the ability. I think the owner's just got no patience. He just wants to buy $1 million winners. Good buy for the owners. I think they'll have a little bit of fun if they keep it to the 1,000 meters. We also have jewelry in the last at Ramwick as well, Rose Hill, Ramwick, wherever they are, whatever sandpit they're running in.
Ramwick.
Yeah, Royal Ramwick. Well. I went looking for him, especially no blinkers. So that was a bit of a concern. I would have loved to have seen it. Zach Lloyd stays on. Barrier 11, I think they're going to be back a bit. $7 is a good price to get involved, but it's up against Frumos. I liked it first up. Had no luck whatsoever. Got to take $2.15. J Mac Barrier 6. It's probably the winner, but I reckon it's a 2-horse war. It'd be interesting racing this Saturday.
It will be. It will be indeed. And yeah, nice race for it. It'll find out whereabouts it's at. Interesting to see 1,100 up to 1,400 metres. So clearly they think it can run a little bit further. So one to keep an eye on. And then next week on Christmas Eve, we're off to the Valley.
Yes. 24th, of course.
Benchmark racing at the Valley, and then off to Caulfield on Boxing Day again.
Yep. Are you joining next week, us, for the show?
Mate, we'll let you know. We'll find out whereabouts I am, and if I can dial in, I will.
It'd probably be safe for us that you don't dial in. So that'll be probably, Matty, until after Christmas. So to you, Matty, wish your family Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you for joining us this year.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you. It's been very enjoyable.
You've still got 7 years left on your contract, as Hipwood does too. So don't go anywhere. Don't go fishing. But no, as I said, this has been just plotted out of nowhere since January. We're doing it for fun. No paywalls. We just do it for the love of it. So we thank you for everyone's support. I'll be back next week. I don't know if I'll have a special guest or I'll do it by myself. I'll try and preview something. But yeah, thank you for joining us, Matty, for this year. You'll probably join us probably for season 2.
Absolutely. We will be back and absolutely loving life again. Once we do get back, we'll be looking towards the autumn, like we did last year, and we'll be reviewing our portfolio and making sure that's up to scratch.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the 2-year-olds, Blue Diamond. If the favourite doesn't go there, there's plenty of value to be found, I reckon.
Absolutely.
But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the show, guys. Hopefully you fill your pockets up this week. More importantly, we hope we filled your pockets up. We will be back next week. Have a good Christmas, Matty. New Year. Stay safe. And more importantly, join the community to find out Matty's thoughts while he's away, because I'm sure he'll find us plenty of winners.
Thank you, mate.
yeah, I'll end the show with our favourite guy. Always, I've got to try and get him in our community. It's my New Year's resolution to hunt him down and get him in our community, or interview him on the podcast to find out where this video came from.
I'm not a good person, but it just goes to show that good things do happen to bad people. So anyone out there who's up against the wall, fucking stick to it. Every cent you got, your rent, your electricity bill, if you're going to buy your missus a ring, don't fucking do it. Keep punting. Keep fucking punting.